Good morning, students. Welcome to today's class. In the previous class, we discussed regarding the ANOVA table, that is one-way classification model. So you observe carefully. Once again, I am repeating here: source of variation, sum of squares, degrees of freedom, mean squares, variance, ratio of F. So here in this one-way classification, we have between samples and within samples, then total. So first of all, in between samples here, you have to get SSE value, and within sample SSE value, then total we call it as SST. Then again, degrees of freedom is here V1, V2, and K. V1 is equal to C minus 1, V2 is equal to N minus C, K is equals to N minus 1. Okay, what is this C, what is this N, and what is this K? Already we discussed in the class 2. You can see here, there also. Then mean square, that is MSC is equals to SSC by C minus 1. Then MSE is equals to SSE divided by N minus C. Then finally you are going to get MSC value and MSC value, that is variance between the samples, variance within the sample. Okay, so in today's class we are going to discuss the steps to get SSC value, SSE value, and C minus, N minus 1, N minus C. These values we are going to get. So you have the few steps I have written. So you observe carefully. So here steps to calculate one-way classification. One-way classification here. Steps to calculate one-way classification. You observe carefully. In one-way classification, the data are classified according to only one criterion. The first one is here, the null hypothesis. Okay, here in ANOVA chapter, when the sample size is 3 or more, then only we are going to apply. Okay, then we are and again we have to write in this way, that is the null hypothesis, that is H naught, mu1 is equals to mu2, mu2 is equals to mu3, so on mu k. Then alternate hypothesis, that is HA, here I am written H naught. Okay, you can write HA, small HA, HA, mu1 is not equal to mu2, mu2 is not equal to mu3, so on mu k. All means are not equal, that is the arithmetic means of population from which the k samples were randomly drawn are equal to one another. The steps carrying out the analysis. Okay, no need to bother about this null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis, but here the steps are important. Here you observe the steps here. First step is here, calculate variance between the samples. Here the calculation of SSC value. To get the SSC value, okay, first of all what we are going to do means here, calculate the mean of each samples. Calculate the mean of each samples, that is x bar 1, x bar 2, x bar 3, x bar 4. Okay, based on the problem, it depends on the problem, you are going to move the x bar 5 also. If the values, if the sample sizes increases, then this x values are also, it will increase. The mean, you are going to calculate the mean here. Average you are going to find out. After finding out average here, calculate the grand average, that is x double bar here. Okay, I am pronounced here x double bar. Its value is obtained as follows. Okay, small principle will be there here for the x double bar also. Okay, in mean, before we are going to calculate SSC value, here we have to find out the grand mean of averages, grand mean of all the observations. 2 times we have to calculate, that is the x double bar for 2 times. Okay, in the next class we are going to practically we are going to do a small problem. In that problem you will get clarity regarding x double bar. Okay, the next one here, C step, take the difference between the mean of the various samples and grand average. Mean of various samples and grand average, you have to take the difference between these values. Then square these deviations and obtain the total, which will give the sum of squares between the samples. Okay, after getting these values, mean values, simply square all the deviations, then you will get sum of square, that is SSC value. SSC value means here, simply what we are going to do means here, you observe carefully here, see the problem, what we are going to means, sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, sample 4 values will be there. After doing all the deviations or squares, then simply we will get in the sample 1, for example, value will be 20, and sample 2 value will be 5, or in the sample C value will be 5 or 10, any number. Then a sample D you will get some 10 or 15. Okay, all these values put together we add, finally you are going to get, we call it as SSC value. Okay, after getting the SSC value, simply what we are going to do means here, again you have to remind that a table. Okay, which table? ANOVA one-way classification table. You have to remind each and every minute. Okay, after squaring all this division, you will get SSC value. Then you observe the careful these E steps. Divide the total obtained in step D. Okay, after getting this step D, simply you will be going to divide this step D by the degrees of freedom. That is, DOF will be 1 less than the number of samples here. If there are 4 samples, then the degrees of freedom will be 4 minus 1 is equals to 3, or V1 is equals to C minus 1. Yesterday already we thought in the table, in the specimen table. Then here again, K the number of samples. When K number of samples, that is the total number of samples. Okay, K is equals to N minus C, that is a total step here, step number 3. In this way, you will get SSC value. After getting SSC value, simply what we are going to do, V1 is equals to C minus 1. C is nothing but 3 here. For example, you got SSC value is 50 or 60 something. This 50 or 60 divided by 3. Then finally, you will get MSC value. Okay, this is a way to calculate SSC value. The next, calculate variance within the samples here. This procedure is a little bit same like variance between the samples. Calculate the mean of each sample, that is x bar 1, x bar 2, x bar 3, x bar 4, etc. If the sample size increases, then you can add x bar 5, x bar 6, x bar 7 based on the given problem. Okay, take the deviations of the various items in sample from the mean values. Again, take the deviations, square these deviations and obtain the total, which gives the sum of squares within the samples. After all this deviation is taken at one place and square all these deviations, then you will get the value of SSE, sum of squares between the samples. Okay, these are the few steps I have written. You observe carefully while we are doing the problem, you will get some complete clarity. Okay, in the next class we are going to start a problem also. So divide the D step, you observe the D1, divide the total obtained by C. Okay, how much total you got in the C steps, that should be divided with the V2 value, that is N minus C. DOF of obtained by deduction from the total number of items, the number of samples, that is V2 is equals to N minus C. Okay, then you will get the V2 value also. Okay, then after getting V2 value, simply we are dividing the MSC is equals to SSC divided by N minus C. Then finally you will get a MSE value. Okay, MSC values are nothing but variance between the samples. Then MSE values are variance within the samples. Then calculate the ratio of F as follows. With this principle, we are going to calculate MSC divided by MSE. Okay, then here you observe carefully. At this, we are going to end the problem. The F distribution, named after famous statistician R.A. Fisher, measures the ratio of variance between groups to the variance within groups. The variance between the sample means the numerator, and the variance within the sample means denominator. Okay, between the samples means the upper part we call it as numerator, the lower part we call it as denominator. Okay, after completion of this MSC divided MSE, you will get some XYZ values. For example, you are going to get a 10.1 or 5.1, 1.4. You will get these value, we call it as calculated value. Okay, this value is we called as calculated value because you students, you done the calculation. Okay, that is the main reason you done the calculation. After completion of this calculation, simply the fourth steps you observe carefully. Compare this calculated value of F with the table value, or we can say here critical value also. Table oblique critical value of F for the degrees of freedom at a certain level. Generally, we take 5% LOS. Okay, already in the yesterday class, we discussed regarding this LOS table also. If the calculated value F is greater than the table value, hence it is significant, we reject H0. Okay, after comparison of these table value and calculated value part is completed, then simply we have to write a small comment or a small conclusion that if the calculated value of f is greater than the table value, hence it is significant, we reject h naught. Okay, if the calculated value of f is less than the table value, hence it is not significant, we accept h naught. Okay, then this is the way you are going to write the comment. So you observe carefully after doing all the steps. Okay, you got SSC value. Okay, you got SSC value. Here you observe the steps. Based on the steps only, you got the SSC value. After getting SSC value, degrees of freedom will be there. V1 is equal to C minus 1. Here C is nothing but total number of columns. How many columns are there here in a given problem? Then MSC is equal to SSC. You will get SSC value. In this value we call it as numerator value. It is divided by the denominator value, that is C minus 1. Suppose the sample size is 4. 4 minus 1, that is 3 here. Okay, here 50 is there. 50 divided by 3. Then you will get MSC value. Again, in the same case, you can do within the samples also. SSC V2 is equal to N minus C. SSC divided by N minus C. Then finally here MSC divided by MSE. This step here. F is equal to variance between the samples divided by variance within the sample. Okay, these are the few steps which are involved in calculating one-way classification. Okay, then again I am repeating the note 1 and note 2 in the today's class also. Yesterday few students they asked a few doubts regarding note 1 and note 2. So you observe carefully note 1 and note 2. Note 1, the same procedure for analysis of variance is applicable for both equal and unequal sample size. If the question in the given question paper here, what happens, the sample size will be equal or unequal. For example, one question is given, school A, B, C, D. In A, there are 5 samples. In B, only 3 samples are there. In C, all 5 samples are available. In D, only 2 samples are there. Okay, B and D are unequal values are there, but in A and C are all the equal values are available. Then the same procedure, which procedure we are following for equal values, the same procedure is applicable for unequal value also. This is note number 1. In the note number 2, assume 5% level of significance if LOS is not given in the question. Okay, in the question paper, they will give only table and apply one-way classification with the examiner mention. Then automatically we have to assume that it is a 5% LOS. Again, take LOS 5% critical values of Professor Ronald 5% LOS values. With that value, the calculated value should be compared. Otherwise, you have to observe either 1% is given or 5%. If 1% is given, go for 1% critical value table. If anything is not mentioned, go for 5%. If 5% is mentioned, then also you have to go for 5% only. Okay, friends. So this is about the steps are involved in calculating ANOVA one-way classification. So thank you very much for today's class. You write all these notes and be prepared for the next class. Okay. Again, I am reminding here, please behead this table. This table is very much important. After beheading this table only, you will get a complete clarity. Okay, while you are doing the problem, you will get good idea, and confidently I can say that you will do this problem. Okay, thank you for today's class. We will meet the tomorrow class. Thank you very much.